Good morning, dear students. So, welcome again in online class. In rotational dynamics, uniform circular motion and non-uniform circular motion, these are the two different concepts. Let us distinguish UCM, that is uniform circular motion, and non-UCM, non-uniform circular motion. There are 2 points in this uniform circular motion and non-uniform circular motion. The first one is that in uniform circular motion, the speed is constant, speed of the particle is constant, and in non-uniform circular motion, the speed of that particle is not constant, it is changing. Similarly, second point, the magnitude of centripetal acceleration is constant, but that of non-uniform circular motion, the magnitude is not constant. So, uniform circular motion, for uniform circular motion, we can explain it by using the examples of hands of a clock. The different hands of a clock revolves around the center with uniform speed, so that different hands of clock they have uniform circular motion. But for non-uniform circular motion, we will explain the example as the blade of a fan. If the fan is switched on, then the blades of the fan rotates with increasing angular speed, so that motion is non-uniform circular motion. And if the fan is switched off, then the blades of the fan decreases, its angular speed goes on decreasing, and that is the non-uniform circular motion. After that, let us see the different physical quantities which we have seen in translational motion and in this chapter rotational motion. Let us compare the different physical quantities and the equations, kinematical equations in translational and in rotational motion. The first equation which we have seen is the average speed v is equals to v average is initial velocity u plus final velocity v upon 2, means average of these two. And in rotational motion, the average angular speed is omega 0 plus omega. Omega 0 is initial speed, omega is final speed. So addition and divided by 2, we get average. So in this way, this is the first equation. Now second one, linear acceleration is dv by dt, that is rate of change of velocity with time. Final velocity v minus initial velocity u divided by time. So from this we get equation as v is equals to u plus at. Similarly, in rotational motion, angular acceleration alpha is d omega by dt, that is rate of change of angular velocity with time. It means that d omega means final angular velocity minus initial angular velocity divided by time. So we get here equation as omega is equals to omega 0 plus alpha t. So if you compare this equation and this equation, then there are analogous physical quantities which we have seen here. In the second kinematical equation, S is equals to V average plus T into T. So if you solve this, we get S is equals to ut plus half at square. and here in rotational motion theta is equals to omega 0 t plus alpha t square. And the third kinematical equation, v square is equals to u square plus 2s, which we have already seen in the 11th, 10th and 11th standard. So similarly we can write here as final angular velocity square minus is equals to initial angular velocity omega 0 square plus 2 alpha theta. So in this way, these are the different physical quantities which we have compared here, and if you see carefully, we can write here as the angular displacement theta is analogous to linear displacement s. Linear displacement s is analogous to angular displacement theta. Then linear velocity v is analogous to angular velocity omega. Then linear acceleration a is analogous to angular acceleration alpha. So in this way, if you change the physical quantities from s to theta, v to omega, a to alpha, we get the different physical quantities in this way. Now when any particle which is performing circular motion, then there is a acceleration which we have seen. That acceleration is always directed towards center. Suppose this is the circular motion and here is the center, then the acceleration is directed towards center, which we call it as centripetal acceleration, AR, whose expression we have seen yesterday, and that acceleration AR is equals to R omega square. So this acceleration which we have seen is towards center, so we call it as a centripetal acceleration. Whenever there is an acceleration, there must be force, and which is called as centripetal force. So what is centripetal force? The force which acts along the radius towards the center of a circle, along the radius towards the center of a circle, is called as centripetal force. The examples of centripetal force are the moon, which revolves around the earth in circular orbit. The necessary centripetal force required for circular motion is given by gravitational force of attraction. The second example is in an atom, the electron revolves around the nucleus in circular orbit. The necessary centripetal force is provided by electrostatic force of attraction between positively charged nucleus and negatively charged electron. In this way, there are so many different examples. Also, we can explain the examples of that stone which is tied to a sling and whirled in a horizontal circle in this way. म्हणजे याला आपण मराठीमध्ये गोफन म्हणतो. दिस इज ऑल्सो द एक्झाम्पल ऑफ सेंट्रिपिटल फोर्स. इन दिस केस हू प्रोव्हाइड सेंट्रिपिटल फोर्स? द टेन्शन इम्पार्टेड बाय द हँड. आपण इथं आपला हात आहे सेंटरला आणि दोरी धरली आपण, तो दगड असा इकडे सेंटरकडे खेचतो आपण, ओढतो. दॅट फोर्स विच इज दॅट टेन्शन विच इज गिवन बाय द हँड इज नथिंग बट सेंट्रिपिटल फोर्स. सो इन दिस वे there are different examples of centripetal force. Now let us explain this centripetal force with different points. First point, it acts along the radius towards the center. Its magnitude, force is nothing but mass into acceleration. So m is mass, which is constant, and we have seen acceleration as this v square upon r, this r omega square, and this v omega. That acceleration which we have seen yesterday, the derivation, and the value of that acceleration is v square upon r, r omega square and v omega. So if you just multiply it by m, this m, then we get the force. In vector form, how that centripetal force can be written in vector form, F is equals to mv square upon r into r0. This is r0 cap is a unit vector. This r0 cap is directed along the radius vector, and this force is towards center, radius unit vector r0 cap is away from center, so therefore we have to take a negative sign over here. So this negative sign which is used here to indicate that this force and this unit vector r0 cap, they are opposite to each other. Similarly, that another formula, instead of v square upon r, if you use r omega square, the formula becomes F is equals to minus mr omega square into r0 cap. The third one, vector F is equals to minus mv omega into r0 cap. So in this way, that vector can be written, that force can be written in vector form. The fourth point is its SI unit is Newton. It is a real force. It is necessary for circular motion. It exists in inertial frame of reference. So these are the different points of centripetal force, and the examples also we have seen. Now there is one more force which is centrifugal force, and that centrifugal force is a force which acts along the radius but away from the center of the circle. This force is called as centrifugal force. Centripetal force is towards the center, centrifugal force is away from the center. Suppose this is a circle, the centripetal force is towards the center and the centrifugal force is away from the center. So these are the two different forces, centripetal and centrifugal. What is centrifugal force? Once again, the force which acts away from the center of the circle. And let us see the different examples of this centrifugal force. When a vehicle takes a turn along a curved road, the passengers inside the vehicles gets pulled outward due to centrifugal force. This is the best example of centrifugal force. Similarly, in washing machine, the cloths are cleaned due to that centrifugal force. So that washing machine works on the principle of centrifugal force. Now let us explain this centrifugal force with different points. Here is the explanation of centrifugal force. It acts along the radius and away from center of the circle. Its magnitude is given by F is equals to mv square upon r, mr omega square, mv omega. And in vector form, we can write that centrifugal force in this way. Just put here is sign as plus. Plus sign is taken everywhere. mv square upon r into r0 cap, mr omega square into r0 cap, mv omega into r0 cap. SI unit is same as that of centripetal force, that is Newton. It is a non-real force. It is the effect of circular motion. It exists in non-inertial frame of reference. In this way, centrifugal force can be explained. Now let us see the difference between centripetal and centrifugal force. Centripetal force is directed towards the center. Centrifugal force is directed away from the center. It is a real force, it is a non-real force, and centripetal force exists in inertial frame of reference. Centrifugal force exists in non-inertial frame of reference. So in this way, there are different points which are to be explained. It is fourth point is it is for circular motion and it is the effect of circular motion. So you have to learn the centripetal and centrifugal force in a by using these notes. Note down these notes in your notebook, prepare notes in your notebook. So we will see the next part tomorrow. Thank you.